Welcome back to Saga of Three Kings. Last session, the group kind of split off. One group is investigating the underneath of the town of Mortis, which seems to have fallen to an outbreak of a plague known as the Red Death. And one of the individuals has left the town, not really wanting to mess with that whole process, and has gone north to speak to nearby settlements and find out if the outbreak has moved outside of the town of Mortis or not. Um, Once we've descended down into the catacombs proper, um, Gondar and Leon kind of investigate for a little while, and they kind of look to the group and say, or Gondar says, "I believe we're going to need our friend Raya. It's something similar. If something similar to the door upstairs presents itself, and it hasn't been tampered with by an unfortunate individual before us, we might suffer the same fate as the people in the town. Leon and I will go up and wait for Raya, or ride out to meet him." Any objections?
Did he say where he was going?
He said he was heading north, I believe. That's at least what.
Okay.
Because he took the elk. You remember? He told us where he was going.
I
Okay.
think the only thing I told them was marking the town. I don't know if I told them I was going to the Goblin Village or not.
Yeah, you said you were going to the Goblin Village, and they offered you the elk as a mount to ride out and get there quicker, and then you said, "I'm not going to ride him, but he can hang out with me."
It's always good to have a heavy hitter with you.
Yeah,
Or somebody that can hit it all.
yeah. Not like those Canadians.
No, I meant me.
Oh, fair. That's also true. Yeah, you're terrible at rolling dice.
He had some fun dice.
So they exit out. They offer. I mean, they explain themselves. They don't want to get too invested without Raya, and they'll go out to seek him out. And
Really sounds like those two.
yeah, totally. It's the best I can do. I didn't know until a couple moments before the session started that they weren't going to be here, so I'm sorry. That's it.
Funny. It's totally on character for them, though.
Yeah, they love Raya. He's the best.
We gotta have Raya.
Raya's the coolest. Let's get him.
Is that absentee vote for Team Raya?
The let's get them part, that I believe. The rest
Absentee
of
votes
it.
for Team Raya. Looks like I think the whole party, except for maybe Grok.
I am not.
Oh, Shambles isn't on Team Raya?
Politically, we go parallel, but not on the same party here.
Man,
Oh.
I thought we were cool.
You're running on.
We're cool. It's just
You're running for the.
can't trust you to make all the calls.
You're trying to get that nomination. Is what you're doing.
Yeah, I want to split the vote.
All right. Sounds familiar. Anyways, what would you all like to do? Wait for the others to get back, or Raya to arrive, or to continue delving?
I mean, it didn't sound like Raya was coming back anytime soon.
He was afraid of the disease.
He gave us a big FU and
And if
pissed
our
off.
concern is that there are more traps that would spread the disease, I don't see him wanting to leap at the opportunity to help us with that.
So
Yeah.
the main thing with those two is they're probably just going to get the elk back, is the presumption.
Oh, okay. Benson, what do you think? If nothing else, it probably wouldn't hurt to get some rest. It's been a long day.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. As for the aspect of our friend Raya, I would say to make an unrealistic request of someone who is unbound to refuse a pointless request requiring someone to act in their normal character is pointless. So I believe the man will run. So yes, let's rest, and I would say we can go check on him, but I doubt he will want to help, it seems, with his character current.
Did we see, as far as the houses on the surface, did any of them seem like the roof was stable, that it was a clean, dry enough place for us to rest?
Just the couple's house.
I don't know how Benson and Grok feel about sleeping down here. And at least up there, we would have a chance to meet with the returning party if they do get back before late.
Plus, I would hate for our friend from down in the sewers to return to say hello.
Hmm. And
I wouldn't mind it.
maybe more mimics. I'd want to
No,
go
mimics
up.
are cool. They're like me. They're my kids.
Tried to eat me.
I'll wave at them.
So I vote for resting up on the surface. Love for Benson to take a look at those liquids and see if he can make something and make more information out of it.
Yeah, these two do some science. I'll kind of post up out in the street.
All right. So, Gondar and Leon exit the town on the north side.
Matter of fact, did we check the rest of the buildings here?
There's only...
I feel like we didn't get the green roof and the red roof on the southwest corner.
Yeah, you haven't touched those yet.
Let's go
I guess
together.
if we're waiting,
we're
we'll take a look.
Okay.
I'll go with him.
If you go into the red roof building first, you'll note that the roof and the rafters and the back end, corner, looks like it has been blown out. And then it does look like there's the normal decay that seems to be proper on all of the other buildings. But it looks like this building more so than the others. Looks like it was very sturdy, but something happened in this building that caused it to break and fall apart. And it looks like there are obvious signs of burns. From what you can tell, there are also a number of cots with the completely charred bodies of individuals, almost skeletal to a high degree. Based on what you're looking at here, it kind of looks like this might have been some sort of infirmary or place where the sick were being brought, and it looks like someone else or someone destroyed the place with fire.
That makes sense. They thought people were sick.
Are there any medical supplies if we were to go inside?
Make an investigation.
Everything was burned.
Make an investigation check.
Oh, I'm not smart. 19.
Looking around, not really much of anything that you can find. It definitely does look like there is a lot of individuals present here. It does look like some of them might have died prior to the detonation of whatever caused them all to burn.
Okay.
But with that investigation check, I will state that there does look like there are also drag marks out the back door, kind of near where the hole in the back of the building is.
Could this be where someone had dropped bodies into the sewer?
Yeah, if you go out the back door, you'll see that there is a sewer grate not too
Leading
far.
to that. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Do I have any idea how long ago this might have happened?
At least a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll point it out to the others and say somebody really wanted to dispose of the bodies here. I don't know if
Could
they
it-
ran out of fire or ran out of ideas, but I've seen
Could
two options made.
The one feeding
Sounds
that
like it's
thing downstairs?
Yes.
I don't know if they were feeding it purposefully or not, but they were dumping it down the sewer, I would imagine.
That's the result.
Okay. If you move over to the other building, between the two buildings, kind of catty corner, you'll note that there is a massive tree. It looks like it is burnt primarily on its eastern side. It's kind of alive on its western side, but it does look like the basic heart of the tree appears to have died. The building here, as you're looking towards the outside of it, a lot of the windows are boarded, and it looks like a lot of the area around the outside looks like it somebody was inside of this building, defending it in some way, shape, or form.
Could I examine the tree a little bit more carefully? And it seems just normal.
If you've got nature trained, if that's the case, you would note that it looks like this tree did die because it burned. It was probably because of its proximity to the detonation in the building next door.
Mm-hmm.
If you walk around to the other side and the entryway, you'll note that this one looks like this building looks like it kind of caved in on itself, and it's kind of withered away in the month that it's been sitting out this in the elements. It looks like there was definitely something to the effect that caused the damage, but you're not sure what it was. It looks like something very large was moving around in this place, perhaps, this space, and kind of moved kind of through the building, destroying it pretty much and bringing down the roof. What the building was, it looks like some sort of warehouse. There are a couple of broken crates. Make a survival check, either one of you.
Go for it, Andy.
I am trained in survival.
Go with it.
12.
If you had to venture a guess, you assume that it was food stores, possibly for the general store, possibly for the tavern just across the way on the backside. And it looks like something massive, possibly with tentacles, was peeling apart the crates here.
Huh. We didn't think that they got up to the surface, but maybe that's not the case. We should check out this other building to the left.
I think we did. That's like a
Oh, okay.
The only buildings I'm not sure of are the two in the very southeast.
Those buildings are pretty much torn apart, and the roof on the south center building, the one that's just like a block square, the roof kind of broke in. It looks like heavy weather was the cause. The building across the way, similar circumstance, but it looks like much more devastating. Had you not investigated very well, it just kind of passed through the town and not focused in on that building with the center of it broken out, you would have thought that this was all done because of weather damage. It looks like there was a lot of heavy weather in this area at some point between now and when you presume the town basically got evacuated.
Benson, does that statue mean anything to you? Would we recognize the figure?
Can I check it out, John?
Sure. The statue in question does appear to be a demonic kind of figure, female, with bat-like wings, horns on her head, and goat legs. Very strange, to be sure. If you'd like, you can make a religion check to try and identify it.
24.
Yeah. So the pictured female is a lieutenant whose name escapes you, but a lieutenant of the demon prince of lust, Alacia, who sometimes effigies to her are used by people who are less keen on the religion of the area as kind of a fertility goddess or fertility idol of worship. And it's used to kind of, by these cultists, to help bolster in their minds the idea of procreation so that their small town might have grown larger. It makes sense that it's nestled in between all of these buildings, and to the south of you is like a large copse of trees, so it'd be very hard to just see the statue without looking down an alleyway or coming through now broken buildings.
It seems as this town has a bit of a darker past than we thought.
Oh, the statue definitely looks a lot newer than the structures underneath. It looks like it's maybe 50 or so years old.
Grok would ask Benson what he knows about Alacia, the demon prince of.
Would I remember anything from the researcher background or anything?
Well,
Or I could at least find out about it.
yeah. If you, I mean, can get to a library.
A library.
Yeah, that might be beneficial. But based off of what you've got there on the religion check, Alacia is one of the 13 demon princes. She rules over the sphere of lust, which is one of the 13 sins present in the Shedim, which is the demon prince pantheon, effectively. And you think you remember noting that she used to be the head mistress of a coven known as the Crimson Coven, who was a vampire in life and ascended to her demon princess status.
If Benson says that, Brock would ask, does this Crimson Coven have anything to do with the Red Death?
You would know that it's located in Parnak and has nothing to do with it.
If we don't see anything much more worth our time, I'll recommend the two of them find a cleaner room in the intact house. I'll post up outside.
Okay.
So the downstairs of that building isn't too bad.
I'll stick my pitchfork into the ground and go scarecrow mode.
Okay. About you make it there, speak to the goblin, head back. About an hour and a half into your walk back, you get.
Hold up.
Go ahead.
So with them, I would, like I said, I would let them know what I hear about the town and whether or not they can take it over. Inform them that it does have clean water, so I don't know all about their accommodations. And they said that they just left the bodies to rot and be picked at, right? After the 2 weeks or whatever.
Correct. Wouldn't let
Okay,
anyone
I just
near
want to
it.
make sure on that one. And they don't have any sewer access up here, right?
Not that they're aware of.
Okay.
Yep. About an hour and a half into your trip, the elk kind of wanders away from you and kind of darts off in a different direction. Which, do you want to follow up on the elk or?
Yeah, I'll keep up with them.
Okay. You would eventually lose track of him. He's quite a faster animal than you. You don't know why he darted away from you. Out of character note.
I can keep up with them.
He moves a lot faster than you.
I can go 70 around.
He can move 60 with a normal base move without dashing. Anyway,
Yeah. Double dash.
Stampy's awesome.
I'm a rogue.
you'd be moving 90, and he'd be moving 120.
No, I'd be
Yeah,
going
if you chase it, it'll just
you're-
run away.
You're a wood elf. Sorry. You'd be moving 105, and he'd be moving
140.
120.
35 at 2 twice.
35, 35, 35.
You don't double it again. You get your base
You don't
3
double
times
the
instead of.
double. If you
Isn't
dash,
dashing just...
if you dash
What's
and
that?
dash, you don't multiply the multiply.
I thought dashing was just moving twice your speed.
No, dash means you increase your speed by your base speed.
Okay, now I'm confused on it then.
So if your base speed is 35 and you dash, your speed for the turn is 70. If you dash twice, your speed for the turn is 105. The elk
Weird.
speed is 60. If it dashes, is 120. So it wins. It gets away is the point. We didn't have to do all the math.
No, it helps because I never understood the rules on dash, apparently.
Fair enough. Yeah, dash is an action that just augments your movement. Moving is not an action. Moving is its own thing.
Right, that's why I thought it was you moved and then you dashed.
No, you dash
Okay.
and then move.
But okay, yeah, whatever.
Yep. No worries. Anyways, you continue on back to the town then to go and finish the objective that way.
Yeah, that was the last stipulation of my letter, so I would be going back here to quarantine anyway.
When you make it to the well of the town, you would see a scarecrow posted not too far from where you're located, kind of watching in your direction.
I would say 20 feet away from the scarecrow, sit down, and go into my trance. Looking in the opposite direction so we have full coverage.
Okay.
Because if he's in scarecrow mode, they're probably resting, so I'll do the same.
Okay. Everybody go ahead and get a long rest. Yeah, the thumb on the scarecrow.
Just very slowly.
So wordless communication.
Elf wink.
That's Team Shambles for you.
Nothing too terrible happens, but to the north of you, basically about where you kind of entered into / bordered on, is a large forest, similar in size to the Anguis, the Gelida forest or Gelida wood. It looks like there's kind of a lot of meteorologic activity kind of over in that direction, from what you can see. Yeah, it's definitely very robust compared to normal storms that you've seen. A lot of lightning, very bright, vibrant pinks and purple colorations kind of flashing out through it as the sky turns to nightfall.
How far out is it?
I would say it's probably good 20 or 30 miles. It's a good days away, a day or so away.
Does it appear to be moving in any direction?
If you have nature trained, you might be able to try and discern that. If not, you're not sure. It definitely doesn't. As you're kind of looking at it over a span of time, it definitely has a left to right, kind of west to east trajectory from the way you're looking.
Okay,
at
that's
it.
good enough. Yeah, I'm not trained in it, but
Okay.
I got 4 hours of doing nothing else. I'll just watch that.
All right. Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like in the span of your long rest that it comes towards you. That said, everybody arises closer to evening time after this long rest. What happens next?
Well, the other two are up and about, and they seem good to go. I'll check with Raya, find out where he went to.
I've been around.
It's good. Glad to hear that. There was some kind of mausoleum attached to the sewer system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
We're about to check it out. Gondar and hell, what is it?
Leon.
Leah. Said they were gonna go look for their elk.
You
Yeah,
let
it
them
happened to-
leave?
We let you leave.
Right, but I hadn't been down in the sewers. What if they picked up Red Death and are now just spreading it around?
Benson seemed awful sure that it wasn't about to spread anytime soon.
Okay.
You're the one that was in a panic.
Croc would ask if Benson had had a chance to look at the other urns full of the liquids to see if he could make anything.
I would have done that during the free time before the race.
Just gross jars.
Well, I mean, there's different liquids, and I think they associate with different humors, right? But do they have any powers beyond that, or are they just totally for burial?
Drink one.
Oh no, that's what I was hoping that Benson would find out about. I mean, this is you take the extreme approach here,
Right.
You always like to play with fire.
Shambles will drink it.
I've always wanted a liver.
So, what do we know, John? Anything?
They are definitely potent. They're definitely older. But yeah, I guess make an intelligence arcana check, Benson, and see if you can maybe discern something. If you're using any spellcraft, these definitely do have a certain potency in the dark winds as well.
So
It
we
might be magical.
know that the unadorned jar was the water spout, and so I guess I'm just thinking that the other ones might have some other power.
Ooh, 9.
Yeah, you're not terribly sure about the humors. It's definitely a arcana that's beyond you. The decanter, the strange water shooting one, definitely has a certain magic to it as well. All 5 of the jars have a certain magic to them, but that's all you're able to discern with just checking that way.
So, what do you all propose we do?
Well, I have a theory that the yellow one somehow is related to fire. You want to test it?
No.
Are you sure?
Have Riot do it. He missed the fun parts yesterday.
What are these?
These
They're
are
Coptic jars.
Drink one.
they're Coptic jars.
Tasty
So
underground drinks.
So there are literally organs that are embalmed in the fluid, and each fluid is a different color.
That's disgusting. You took these from somebody?
From the burial area in the caverns below.
I see. No thanks.
You seem awfully squeamish lately, Raya.
Squeamish, no. Her respect for the dead, yes. That came from a person. He was buried with it. It probably should have stayed with him.
No, these were on a box on the floor.
It said, "Take one."
I bring out
You.
a parchment paper and I start going over to Raya and being like, when did you start respecting people and respecting things? The older I didn't seem to do that. Was this after the change? Is this something that went on with the magic? Is it because you're an elf? Can you tell me anything?
Hold on. I never respected people, but I've always respected the dead.
Interesting.
Gotta respect where the money comes from.
Not a grave robber.
No, but that's your product, is dead people. That's what I'm saying.
What are you talking about?
So what you're saying is like a shoemaker respects shoes.
Yeah.
A dead guy maker respects dead guys.
Somebody who makes dead bodies.
I don't sell dead bodies.
No, you
Oh,
make
so
them.
you
We
sell
never said you sold them.
I sell knives.
I'm willing to try, Benson. I'm willing to try one of the jars. How about the red one?
What about it?
I'm gonna crack it open.
All right. Inside you see the contents.
I'm going to dip my finger in and put it to my. The turtles have snouts. What are they? What is that? Whatever.
It's a beak.
Some of them have beaks.
Yep.
Okay. Take a taste.
Yeah.
You
and
vomit
smell.
profusely.
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Nine.
Yeah. You
Turn inside out.
make a Dexterity saving throw.
You vomit so hard. You're a rocking ship.
12.
You retch. You fall forward and start puking like whatever you had in your belly, and in the process toss the Coptic jar aside, causing it to hit the ground, smash, and the head of it kind of rolls off to the side. The contents spill out all over the floor.
Aww.
And I believe it's a
That's
liver
back.
sitting there on the floor.
You said it was a liver.
Why would you put that in your mouth?
It was just a fingerful.
It was just
Get your finger full of other stuff if you want.
Okay,
Turtle soup.
So now we know.
Right, gross stuff tastes terrible.
Yeah. So why don't we save the others for later?
That's worth writing down.
Benson, get the notes.
I didn't like this culinary experience, but you know what? I've got 3 more.
Listen, you never know.
You
I
never know.
respect your gusto.
One thing you would note, Chody, being an Arcanist, is it seems that as it kind of lays there out on the ground and kind of catches to the air, the potency that it had magically is seeming to wither.
Sorry.
That curiosity is the basis of discovery, my friend. We will continue on with. Um, I guess our biggest thing we need to decide now is what we want to do next. We have our creature friend that lives under the streets, of course, or we can head on to other items. What I really don't know of anything else that we can help here. Like I said, it seems that this is a natural cause that was a horrible thing to happen to the town, but I don't believe there's any much more that we can do about it. A town that this demon statue says that something came about afterwards, but it doesn't seem to be here now.
Well, as far as the monster in the sewers, I don't think it's going to fall for us trying to catch it again. I imagine there was more to that crypt down below. There looked like there's quite a bit of machinery.
Yep, gears. There was a
But
massive.
I don't know how willing you all were to explore that.
I'm willing.
Look at Riot in particular.
Rock's willing.
Brian, how do you feel about going down? Do you still want to avoid it, or
Oh, I
is
still
there
think it's
something-
foolish, but I'm going to be here a while anyway, so I might as well join you.
Waiting for somebody?
Making sure I'm not infected.
Fair. Well, let's head down into the tombs.
All right. So just a quick run through to make sure there's no changes to anybody's ideas. We go into the first section with the columbarium and the crypts. There's one open chest, and the contents were left in it, or one coffin rather, and the contents were left in it. Correct?
What coffin with its contents left in it?
Yeah, it had a sword, a shield, I think.
Oh, they were all rusted and
Yeah,
broken.
nobody took that.
Yeah, we didn't care about them.
Cool. Moving down to the catacombs where there are more columbarium and crypts. I'll go ahead and get right on the board. I'll try to anyway. And just to ensure that you have an idea of where you're at and give you quality of positioning. You can see your position there, right, Jeremy?
Yes.
Move north.
What part of the map are we on?
Yeah, move north.
Go.
Then move west. Then move south, and then you'll move around a corner, and you should be in the same
I got
big proper room that they're in.
I see a circle and like 2 squares of a hallway.
Yeah, go north with your miniature, and then go lefty left. Then go downy down. You should see shambles leading you along the way. Into the big, massive crypt area. All the walls in here either have crypts or columbaria. A crypt is where you'd shove a coffin. Columbaria is where you'd shove an urn with ashes.
We would mention the treasure chests or not treasure chests in the southwest.
Yeah, we're gonna leave those guys alone. They don't seem worth our time. They're just fishermen.
So which direction is left to explore?
If we go this way, there was some large bronze plate
Yeah.
with a bunch of gears attached to it.
Oh, to the far west.
Well, real quick,
Yes.
the gears aren't attached to it. The gears are above it, kind of in the wall,
Okay.
in the ceiling. And then if you kind of look off to the right, there's one that connects to the wall on the opposite side. You can go underneath the one that's in between. The other ones are low enough to the ground where it might block you and you'd have to crawl underneath them. And then underneath and through, there seems to be another chamber kind of towards the northwestern side.
What would happen if you were to climb the gears?
You would be climbing gears.
They're
And is there any-
stationary.
Is there anything on top?
More gears. There's 3 primary ones. Other than that, no, it doesn't look like there's anything up on top of them. Sight-wise, from what you can see. Do you want to climb them?
Not necessarily, just checking options.
Okay.
What's this box?
It's an altar. Looks like it has 2 candles that have been burnt down to nothing. Wax all over the ground, or all over the altar at their bases. There is a symbol printed on it. It appears to be a symbol from Harnack, not a Tavian symbol, not a Osirian symbol, so it's definitely strangely out of place. Sitting on top of it in the middle is a bowl made out of silver, and there's etching on the lip of the bowl, and it says, "To start the body of the crypt, you must give what the bodies in the crypt cannot. It is in your head. Place it here in the bowl."
What'd you say the organs in those little jars were?
I got it. Actually, I don't have the organs. So,
Bladder, liver, lungs.
phlegm.
Phlegm was the liquid the lungs were in. I can't remember what the serpent's was. I didn't get it written down. Dragon had a bladder in bile. Crow
that the-
had liver in blood. Beholder had lungs in phlegm.
Was it
There was another
gallbladder?
one, serpents. Maybe. I don't think any of them were brain, if that's what you're going for.
Correct.
Yeah, it was. So you said there's a bowl that they're asking us to put it in?
The silver bowl just sitting out there on the altar. Looking at it, it looks like it is actually connected, like bolted down or like entered into the top of the altar.
Put our head in there?
You put your
Right,
head,
give it a piece of your mind.
you put your head in there, nothing happens.
Bummer.
Maybe if you put one of the urns on top of it.
So again, to get the body of to move the body of the crypt, you must give what the bodies in this crypt cannot give.
Life?
What you need is in your
Water?
head.
Dam. Eyes.
Blood?
Blood.
Can I take out what do I have here? A crossbow bolt and kind of prick my finger.
Yeah, take a
Put a
point of
little
damage.
Yep, put a little drop of blood in there.
You kind of get up there on your tippy toes and pop the blood into the silver bowl. It kind of stains the surface of it. As it kind of settles into the bottom, you feel the whole of the crypt kind of and kind of shake. You watch as the gears above you, behind you, spin and spin and spin. When the third one starts spinning, you see the disc underneath it start to spin downwards, and then you hear a loud and as you turn and look back that direction, it looks like the platform, the bronze metal disc, has given way to what appears to be a stairwell down with gears underneath, and the disc now seems to be settled in a groove underneath.
Well done, Vincent.
Well, let's go.
I could have done that.
There do look like there are 2 pathways to the, there do look like there are 2 pathways
You don't
to the
have
north.
blood.
By the way, just to make sure if there's anything you want to do on the clearing of this level before you move down.
We'll come back this way, I'm sure.
Okay. Heading down. I got Benson.
Rye, would you like to go first? Check for traps.
He's talking to his wife.
If I need to, I suppose I can.
That would be ideal.
I'll follow behind him, make sure he has a light.
I'll take up the
I
rear.
can see in the dark.
Right. I'm still second.
And you have a light.
Right, where did you go?
Is light cast on Shambles then?
That's how it was before, but that's been a time.
Aspen
Yeah.
Benson. Okay. So Benson's bringing up the rear.
Benson, third.
No, Grok is going to bring
Grok
up the
can
rear just
Yeah,
to protect
I'm-
him.
In the middle.
Okay. All right.
I move cautiously and skillfully down the spiral staircase, checking for traps at every instance.
That's fine. There are no traps. You descend down,
Nice. Good job.
and you see that the tiles here seem to be more ornate at the base when you get to the bottom of the stairs. You also
Sounds
note
like a
that
trap.
the well of the hole that you entered into seems to continue on beyond. There do look like there are stony features past a worked shaping that goes about 30 feet down, but it seems that your dark vision, this pit continues on beyond your sight. The tiling appears to be very
Sort of
ornate.
Omens.
Huh?
Sort of omens, am I right?
Okay.
Sight beyond sight.
Oh, fair enough. Uh, it looks like these tiles are just very ornately designed, about 5 feet wide, and again, neatly placed. But you do see that there appears to be some rubble up ahead, from what you can see on the ground.
Does the rubble appear to have come from above?
It looks like it's a mixture of above and possibly below. Like some of it has bits of tiling in it.
Okay, and then is there any dust in the air currently?
No, actually, it seems everything is very settled.
Okay, so this hasn't fallen from opening the door.
Correct.
I'm gonna poke the tile in front of me with my rapier
Nothing happens.
and step out onto it, and then start checking for traps in every tile.
Yeah. As you're kind of observing it, it doesn't require that kind of mundane, an objective kind of touching. You are kind of focused on the traps. That is noted. I'm not going to kill you with a stabby trap, but yeah, it doesn't seem like that is at all what the people who created this location have are attempting to do.
Then I would move forward to investigate the rubble.
Sure. When you come up to the opening of the door, you can see that this room is massive. You descended about 50 feet down into the hole on the staircase. This ceiling above you is about 30 feet high. There appear to be 5 massive columns, almost 8 feet wide in diameter, that ascend from the floor to the ceiling. Rubble seems to have been broken out from the floor to the south, and it looks like there's kind of a drop into the ground at that point. You look out towards the center of the chamber. There appears to be a blue 8-pointed star dais on the ground with a bronze massive bowl setting in the middle. Looks like there might be a path off to the north. If you kind of enter in a little bit further, you'll see that there looks like there's a doorway to the opposite side of your doorway that you just entered in, but it looks like that one is caved in. And if you look to the south, kind of near where the pit, the hole in the ground is located, you can see that there appears to be another doorway to the south, but it too looks like it has been caved in.
I'm gonna check this line in the floor that goes through the tiles. Anything going on there?
Sure. It looks like the tiles were set first, and then someone, like in the same artisan, you presume, ran through with just a straight line etching that connects these two columns for some reason. It doesn't look like it's anything besides just a mundane kind of, like they chiseled in and then dragged the blade through, like the tool through, to create kind of a small little reservoir.
And they've done that between all of these columns.
It appears that way. It looks like the lines that are broken, if your idea of architecture is sound, there would be another column that doesn't appear to be present where the pit is located. And it looks like there are lines underneath the rubble that would have connected those two pillars.
Anything special about these pillars? Weird markings, vessels.
No, they have kind of a similar kind of design patterning to the, if you look at the tiles, you'll see one that looks like scales. So it has like the scale patterning that runs all the way up and down the sides of it. Shambles, I see you walking over to the cliff edge. You're looking down in the hole.
Looking down and looking to see if any architecture underneath this floor would match those lines that we saw between the pillars.
Okay. The floor appears to be about 20 feet thick beneath you, and it looks like it gives way to a large open chasm underneath. The drop down to that pile of rubble that looks like it was the pile of rubble that probably came down when whatever happened here happened, is about 80 feet down. So the cavern underneath, very open, very vaulted. You're just kind of peering at it. It looks very natural. Looks like you could see a couple of stalactites hanging from the ceiling. And it looks like there's some points within where the broken rock has kind of sundered massive spears of stalagmites onto the ground.
Okay. I don't see anything in, say, the broken portion of the floor that would match, that would
You would see
fall in line with what that line is between the pillars.
You would see not so much that, but you would see broken parts of a pillar.
Okay.
And if you look up to the ceiling at that point as well, you would see that the top of the pillar, like the capstone portion of the pillar, is still up there on the ceiling.
I'm gonna head around this way.
Okay.
Just looking around.
Okay. As you kind of move around the way there, you can see that there does appear to be a 15-foot wide access or portalway to the northwestern portion of this room.
I'm gonna stealthily approach that and look around the corner.
Okay. You would see that there appears to be on the left side, from where you can see there, appears to be a steel slot or column that kind of goes up and down. The portalway is only about 15 feet high, and the room that you're looking into looks like it's only about 15 to 20 feet high, kind of with like a slightly rounded roof. So that thing that you're looking at on the left side appears to be just like a metal kind of almost door-like pattern, but it goes from the ceiling to the floor, and set on it about a foot apart are small little
pyramid-shaped
yeah.
things.
And the same would be true of the one on the right side when you come around to see it. It's identical to the opposite side. In the
Is
center,
it identical, or is it its mirror so that like they fit together?
Good question. Identical is the answer. They
So
would
they
beat each
come
other
together.
up.
There would be holes in it.
Yeah, they would beat each other up.
Okay.
And then there's a hole in the center, very similar to the hole in the center of the stairwell. It looks like it goes down quite a bit farther, and there's a passageway to the north.
I will approach no farther further at this time.
Okay. Shambles and Raya, you've acted. Benson, are you moving to the brazier?
Yeah, I'd like to go take a closer look of it.
Okay. If you pop up to it and kind of look into it, you would see that there is a glass cylinder with gold capstones inside.
Hey guys, is that floor safe to walk on?
It does appear to be so far.
I hope so. They're just walking.
But when you get you see a glass cylinder with gold capstones, and the contents of this glass cylinder appears to be this lightly glowing blue liquid. And it's set in the center of the brazier in some sort of mechanical kind of thing that's kind of holding it up.
Can I do an Arcana check maybe to see if there's anything to it?
Yeah.
26.
Yeah, so it doesn't appear to be so much, the liquid doesn't appear to be so much magical. It seems to be what's called a key fluid. Some mages will use key fluids as a only creatable by me method of creating a key. And since it's a fluid, it's obviously something that's not very permanent. So if someone were to get a hold of it, they would have to use it very quickly to unlock whatever it is that they would be unlocking. The container that is that's holding it, it looks like it's gold on first glance, and it looks like it's glass on first glance. But what you start to realize is that it's transparent steel, and the gold capstone seems to be just gilded more transparent steel.
I let the group know about this and say that there could be a door somewhere around here that this uses to open of some sort.
Yep. And it looks like the mechanism that's holding the bottom portion The bottom portion of the cylinder is similar to the top portion of the cylinder, so it doesn't matter which way it would go in. But you think that once it connects, it either fills this thing with fluid, or I guess the mechanism could be used to drain the thing with fluid. Based on the contents, you assume that it's been filled.
Do you think it's safe to take that thing from that machine?
Usually, they don't last very long to be able to use it, so I think we would want to have an idea of what we want to try it on before.
Oh, apologies. Out in the air. The liquid wouldn't last long out in the air. If it's in a container, it'd be fine.
Then I would try to carefully take the container
You
from
pull it off.
there.
There's an audible click sound, which you're kind of like, but you realize it's just the device where it connected, being disconnected from it, and you can see that the basin, the bowl's center, kind of has like a receptacle to receive the cylinder. Again, if you were wanting to put it back in, and the glowingness of it seems to emanate a bit of light for you. So I'm going to go ahead and, as long as you're holding it, you'll be generating light yourself.
Ooh.
All right. He has this very strange cylinder, Grok. What do you do?
Drink from another one of those tasty canisters.
Soup's on.
Andy, you're Grok, right?
I'm Brock.
You're. What do you want to? Do you have anything you want to say or?
Oh,
interject?
sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were talking
Sorry.
to me.
No worries.
No worries. No, I'm not going to drink from the canister. I'm just standing beside Benson and maybe looking around to see if there's anything that the canister might fit into.
So if it were green and he were to drink it, would he turn into a teenager? Like, is that how that works? I don't know. Does it work in reverse? Anyways,
Nothing you touched.
sorry.
Have to be more oozy than liquid.
It does kind of have a very similar look to the ooze canisters, except that it's kind of rounded, like at the ends. But yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna keep walking around the outside of this thing. What's going on with this hole in the wall over here?
So this looks like it is a passageway. It would lead to another portion of the complex, but it looks like the middle portion of the hallway has basically come in. There doesn't appear to be any line of sight over the top of it or through it. It looks like whoever or whatever happened here has completely turned this into a barricade. It's impassable.
Okay, then I continue down.
And you would see that.
Take a shower.
No.
Okay.
Why do you always try to do it during my game? Anyways, the thing to the south would be similar.
Okay. So if you guys plan to keep on going, you can either jump in this hole or we can head north to this other doorway.
I would say let's try the doorway.
I don't trust the doorway, and we should probably find something to jam in between these two things before they slam shut on us.
What
Just,
things?
just in case. Oh, you'll see.
Okay. When you come up to the room here, on the left
I'm gonna
side,
grab Benson by the collar and pull him back.
Drag him back.
on the left side,
Those
Whoa!
things.
there are massive metal from floor to ceiling, metal portions of the wall, and about a foot down, up and down, because it's about a 20-foot high ceiling. There are these pyramid shapes that come out to the sides. There's one on the left, there's one on the right, and then there's the hole in the ground, and then there's a small door off to the right, or small passageway off to the right side.
Do the tips of the pyramids appear worn?
No, but they appear flat.
Okay. So those, I don't trust those. I would go to investigate one of them cautiously.
Sure. Looking at it, based on its design, it looks like it goes into the floor, and one of the pieces is kind of settled on the floor, And as you're looking at it, you realize that the floor is set to receive it. Like, it looks like these are teeth of a gear. And it looks like the same is true for the one on the opposite side.
That's weird.
So there are so it's gears of some mechanism
If you had to,
in the sides of these walls.
yeah, if you had to guess, it moves down whatever this is, and it's kind of like the side of a spinning gear. It's a part of something possibly bigger that you're looking at. Just one portion of
So
it.
does the metal thing appear to be round, or is it straight?
It's very, like, asking that question that way, looking at it, it does appear to have a slight bevel to it that kind of exits outward, but it's not noticeable from, like, looking at it without asking that specifically. It's very slight.
Okay, so if this is a circle, it's like 50 feet across.
Right. Or 50 feet radius.
Yeah. I'm not a scientist.
Right. You're right. But looking at it, it doesn't look like there's any way that it would be able to push through towards the center, so your original fears are evaded.
Benson, you can cross.
Sorry,
Look.
Bits.
He not there. Shambles.
I'll peer down the hole.
So you have your light. You're kind of looking down. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just bashed my elbow into the mic, so I
Done
probably
it a
heard
couple
that.
times now.
Sorry.
Yeah, for creepy dungeon.
It's spooky.
So you kind of shed your light down, kind of looking down, like kind of tipping your hat and peering down. Your light stops about 10 feet down, and it seems that there's some sort of like strangely unnatural darkness to this hole.
Can I see past this 10 feet?
No,
I'll drop a dart down the hole.
it disappears.
No sound?
Not a sound.
Well, that's spooky.
Okay.
Run out of darts, man.
Benson, what do you got to say about this?
Looks creepy.
Unnaturally dark hole.
Yeah, real dark.
Maybe you shed some magic wisdom on this.
Well, I could
It looks
drop a light on there.
It looks like
We've tried that. We can do the rogue stuff.
It looks like it is a greater darkness than light will penetrate.
Oh. Do I have Dispel Magic?
Just spaced out for a minute. What?
I was thinking about tea.
Sounds fair.
It's that time.
Right.
Keep strict schedule.
We can't see it, but can we take a rock or something and drop down it?
No sound.
I already did it.
Did that.
Okay.
We did the non-magic stuff.
I'm catching up.
fine.
Okay, let's do an arcane look down here. Can I figure anything out with it?
Without rolling anything, it appears to be a magical darkness that appears to be stronger than light, or possibly a stronger light would be. It appears to be a very
Can
dense magical darkness.
I hold the bottle of stuff to it? Not drop it, but just hold it down into it and see if it still does the same?
Sure. The light does not pierce it either.
Bummer. Okay. Well,
Wizard.
I don't have dispelled magic.
It's okay, buddy.
Nor can you see the source to cast it on.
That's true. Is there a door to the north here? Does that continue on?
Yeah, it looks like there's a passageway that leads north.
Benson managed to cross there, so now it's safe for us to do it.
Yeah, I don't think there was much more to investigate where we are now, so
Is
head
that,
that way.
so
Is
Shambles,
that a, just a
Unless
map
Grok
change?
has anything.
No, I'm good. Rock.
all right. So as you move through this narrow hallway, you very quickly realize that it comes to a strange kind of, and the reason why it's kind of cordoned off, it comes to a kind of curve around the edge there. And you see, Benson, as you're the first one kind of coming through there, you see that there is a massive portcullis kind of blocking the way. And it leads on to 10 feet wide hall ahead of you. The bars are actually wide enough that you think you might be able to squeeze through, Benson, but everyone else will probably have trouble.
Shambles will be fine.
Yeah, Shambles should be.
Shambles can come through too, yeah. Sorry. And Grok is definitely not going to be able to pull it off. Raya is... No, he wouldn't either.
I have an elf body now. I'm pretty flexible.
I could blow a wild shape and do it.
That's true.
We're gonna leave Raya behind, like he left us behind in the disease town.
We're still in Disease Town.
I know.
The
You're
bars...
being left behind.
They do look like they go up, and there are sections where you can kind of grab a hold of them to possibly lift them.
Well, it's not.
But you also said it's massive, and half of our muscle is gone. So,
Grok is the strongest guy you have.
yeah, but anybody worth aiding him is not here.
I could help him. I would give him guidance on how to do it.
That's excellent.
Lifting with his legs.
Yes.
That's right.
Not with
Keep your
yourself.
back straight.
Yes,
That's
sir.
Turtle.
I'll if nobody
Shambles
opposes it, I'll
pretty
squeeze
strong.
through the bars for a second and kind of.
Yeah, you want to find the
Take a peek
lever
ahead.
that just unlocks
Yeah.
it?
Okay.
Take Benson with you. He's
I'm
useful.
definitely.
So-
Yeah, I'm going with him.
Real quick, sorry. On your right side, you see what appear to be statues of dwarves. Strange. They appear to be wearing cloaks with their hoods up, beards out, and they appear to have different kind of articles that they're holding. Each one seems to be carved individually, but the style seems to be very similar. At the foot of the one that you're passing by on the first side there, you see what appears to be a massive ruby. Just on inspection, looking at it at this point, it looks like it's probably worth about 300 gold pieces on its own.
That's fancy.
It's like set into the statue.
No, just sitting there like it was like laid out like an offering.
It's totally Aladdin all over again.
Who's
Don't
a boo?
Right? Right.
Feels like it's
definitely
me.
right. It's
It's
gonna
about to
be.
be Andy.
Let's press on and see if we don't see a mechanism for this door.
All right.
Agreed.
As you pass by the next statue, you would realize that there seems to be something set out in front of it as well. It appears to be a silvered dagger with gemstones all along its hilt and its guard.
And these are rich statues.
As you move towards the middle statue, or the third statue, sorry, not middle, you would see that there's a single coin sitting out in front of it, but the light, as it kind of passes over it, appears to catch it, and it has its metal, or whatever it's made out of, has a scintillating pattern to it. It appears to be like made out of rainbows.
What's the object again?
It's a coin.
A coin.
A coin made out of rainbow.
Yep, and you can make a
Seen them
history
before.
check if you're trained in it. They're definitely a rare currency, but you might have heard of it if you were smart.
Got it. 23.
Yeah, so that is what is known as a raya, and a raya is worth 1,000 gold pieces.
Oh my. Oh,
Yep.
they are very generous down here.
It's said to be
Right,
made.
that was worth about 100,000.
It's said to be made from rainbow metal, and that metal is very, very rare, even more so in the current age.
Yeah, this
What's
doesn't
the
seem
fourth one
ominous
got?
at all.
So many gifts.
The next one, there's an urn. The urn is open, the top of it's open, and it seems to be filled with old coins. Not stacked neatly either, just kind of like just chucked in there.
Somebody's change jar.
4 is a boring dwarf.
All right.
5?
This one has a simple ribbon. Looks like it's made out of kind of a bluish colored silk.
That's nice.
It's getting
It's better
worse.
than a jar of
First
coin.
place.
The last
6?
one has nothing.
Huh. I see around this corner.
Looks like
Yeah.
it looks like there's a way to
There's
go
a
over here.
passageway around the way. When you come around, you would see, as you enter in,
Oh, okay.
looks like there is a chest set on the ground. And also, you would note that the ceiling here is narrow. How's Grok?
Grok, you're stuck
I
back
don't
here
know.
with
I'm
me.
confused.
You're behind a gate. If you
Yeah,
want to
they
try and
squeeze
lift it,
through the
you
bars.
can.
Where are we? Anything?
Do you want to try and you're behind
I'm
a
gonna
gate?
walk Grok back. You're behind the gate down. Yeah, right there.
I mean, sure, I'd want to lift it if I could.
Make a strength athletics check.
Okay. I'm sorry. Everything was black, and I thought that
I forgot you guys were in total darkness. I'm sorry.
if I had guidance,
I
I
hadn't
would
noticed.
kill it.
Well, if you had guidance, you wouldn't have. If you had advantage, you'd kill it. But nobody here can help you.
Oh,
And that's a savings or not an athletics check.
oh Jesus! Let me
Turkey.
try again.
No, I'm not gonna let you. Well, I mean, you can try again. It doesn't seem to do it. It's definitely a little bit more labored than you had anticipated.
All right.
Treasure chest, as I mentioned, and on the wall behind the treasure chest, just hanging on the wall, is a humanoid body wearing robes, similar to the robes that the dwarf statues outside were wearing.
Hanging on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
How so?
Looks
Like crucified, or
it, as you inspect it, there doesn't appear to be any implements that are binding it to the wall.
this place is spooky and beneficial.
It appears to be kind of like a desiccated kind of corpse. It doesn't look like there's any hair left. It does look like the skin is kind of like tightly bound to the skull. Inspecting it, it does have dwarvish qualities. Massive, kind of square, robust jaw. Bigger head to size body proportions. And the robes it's wearing are seemingly unaffected by age, despite the body inside of it having been affected.
Well, no switch here. I still don't want to set anything off here, Benson.
I agree. We can check the other way first.
Take one more peek this way,
Okay.
and it looks like it continues quite a ways.
Yeah, quite a ways. Do you want to go that way?
I'm not really comfortable leaving the other half behind that far back.
If all four of you, two on each side, try it, I would say that the three of you might be able to, like, not but get to a helping degree with the guidance spell as well. You might be able to give Grok advantage for an athletics check to try and hack this bad boy up.
Give it the old friendship, Liv.
Go friendship. Athletics.
That's right.
15.
Okay.
Rolling
And
for
you
Grok.
have a D4.
Plus a D4.
D4.
19.
You all together kind of push upwards on it. Benson very quickly loses the ability to help anymore because of height limitations. The rest of you are straining. It looks like Grok is straining as well. You definitely feel like the stitches kind of popping out of the shirt. Raya, your new elf muscles are like, oh, and you manage to get through by getting it up to a point.
Campbell's is so buff he ripped his shirt.
Sliding.
Yeah, I'm swole. I rearranged my hay into biceps.
Biceps. Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of money here.
Yeah, Raya would notice this very quickly.
This is still a tomb. I'm not robbing the dead. I'm a murderer, not a thief.
All right.
All right.
Still
Moving
think
on.
We'll check it out later.
Maybe after I know it's not cursed.
Are you
Sure.
are you continuing on to the hallway and chamber that continues to the left?
Yeah, we're gonna make a left here.
I do want to inspect one of the statues at least. I'm gonna say blue ribbon.
He was second to last.
Give it. Yeah, I just want to give it a once over.
Right here.
See if I see something that they didn't.
Yeah, it just appears to have tools, what appear to be kind of like some sort of arcanist's tools, and the cloak and the dwarven features. It's crudely carved. It doesn't seem to be like manifestly well crafted.
It's in the shape of a dwarf, but it doesn't appear to be the work of a dwarf.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then they are stone.
Correct.
Does there appear to be any kind of mechanisms with them, above them, behind them,
Kind of giving
in the
them
hand?
the old. They're not attached to anything besides the floor, and it looks like no, yeah. You do notice like in this inspection that it looks like there is kind of like a divot in the floor at their feet where the items that I've discussed are laid in.
I would like just blow air at the ribbon and let it like move a little bit just to see if anything happens.
Nothing.
Okay, I'm satisfied now. Walk away from it.
You move through the next chamber hall there, and entering in on the top right, you can hear what sounds like the slight burble of water as you kind of pass, out of that last chamber. Up ahead, it looks like there is a bit of water.
What did the other guys see in the last room? I asked them.
There was a... Huh.
A
There was a
chest.
figure wrapped in a cloak, hanging from nothing, suspended in midair against the wall. And also a treasure chest.
Did you do any inspections of these?
We just
Kind of look
wanted,
at Benson.
we were looking for a lever. And then we came back to try to get you guys through. We didn't want to do anything without the full party strength.
That's understandable, but we're together now. And if that should happen to be something, I wouldn't want it to walk up behind us.
Well, then we can more than happily go back and look at it. Come, I will show you.
All right. Yeah, like I described it, it is a dwarven, effectively zombified body. Not zombified, not mummified. Just dead body in one of the cloaks. Seeing it, it appears that it is a gray cloak that the dwarf is wearing. Its hands are kind of outstretched, kind of like in a crucified pattern, but its legs aren't like together. They're just kind of hanging from its frame. And it seems to be connected to the wall, but it doesn't seem to have anything that's connecting it to the wall.
So as we get closer and look at it, there's nothing between it and the wall.
Its back is to the wall. You can't see like a gap or anything because of the way it's placed in the cloak. Without
Is
touching
it physically? I was like, is it physically touching the wall?
Yes, but it doesn't appear like there's like any bolts or nails in its body, or like any rings that are kind of holding it, or any like bindings that have kind of connected it to it. It looks like it is literally just hanging, hands outspread, and feet kind of just hanging off the bottom portion from the wall.
Kind of like a scarecrow.
Everybody, ready yourselves. Shambles, if you would, with your pitchfork. Lift the cloak. See if there's something piercing the body to the wall beneath the cloak.
Okay.
Okay.
Watch that
I'm
hallway
going
behind
to,
us.
I'm going to ready the spell hold person. Oh, wait, nope, wrong character. Don't have that. Never mind.
Wouldn't want to anyways. Undead aren't people.
Monster.
Wow.
Okay.
But yeah, are you comfortable where you are, Raya?
Yeah, I've got my rapier
Alright.
drawn.
I will draw out the pitchfork and gingerly sort of take the hook, or take the prong to the hood and lift it back.
The eyes flare bright blue. What do you do? You guys were readying shit, so didn't really say what you're doing, but I'm gonna allow you to do it.
I'll just stab it in the chest.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
10 to hit.
That'll. I would presume you have advantage.
14.
Could we all make an attack?
14 will hit. If you said you were ready. If you didn't, you don't.
And Shambles is adjacent, so it'll be 13 plus 9. 22 damage to the chest of this glowy.
Let me check something.
And if possible, I would attempt to hold my sword there.
It doesn't seem to resist the damage.
I'm gonna go up and do burning hand.
You ready? Right?
Yes, I did. I remember I said I'm gonna ready to hold person. That's like, oh wait, I don't have that one. But yeah,
That's
I
fine.
was ready.
All out.
And it also wouldn't
Dexterity.
work, so
Dexterity saving throw for me, and then go ahead and throw your spell.
There you go. 14, the DC, and then 11.
It seems to kind of like pull the cloak and throw it up as the flames kind of come in. You see some of them kind of lick against the skin and kind of change it from like a brownish, kind of old dead to like a blackish color, but it doesn't seem like the full brunt of the flames kind of get past the cloak. And since those are the only reactions that were readied, as the cloak kind of comes down, you see its mouth open up. Massive canines kind of start coming down from its face, and its eyes are still flaring that kind of sickly blue. And
vampire.
we roll initiative.
Can I take a look at the bottle? Is it doing anything, or is it still the same?
Yeah, you're
glow?
holding it in your hand as you cast that spell, and it's still the same color. It's not the same
Okay,
color as
we'll
the
check.
eyes, though. It's like
Okay,
the blue we're talking about for this creature seems to be like the blue from
Lich King.
yeah, that's a good one. Or I was gonna say the Game of Thrones, those
Icy.
guys.
Night King, the
White
Night
Walkers.
King.
Yeah. And then the blue that you're holding is kind of more like a vibrant, kind of like light blue, kind of like the ultramarines, kind of like bluish, kind of nice.
Okay.
It's a nice blue. All right. Shambles, you're first.
I'm gonna drop the pitchfork. I don't know why I can never remember the word pitchfork. And I'm gonna give it a good stab with the broken sword. 11 will miss.
No,
I'm
it
assuming.
kind of catches the blade for a second and kind of throws the weapon away.
I'm gonna punch it in the throat.
Okay.
Jesus.
As it
11
kind
again.
of gets the weapon away and you kind of snap back, he kind of like brings his hand in like a shudo and blocks your hand aside.
Sure looks like you're on Team Ryan.
Yeah.
All right. Still kind of floating in the air, it kind of snaps down and comes in with its attacks against.
Am I able to keep my sword in it?
You did say that. Go ahead and make an athletics check, and I'll make an opposed check to see if I can get away from it.
Athletics or dex?
You're not holding me to a wall with dexterity.
No, but I'm holding the sword in. Not necessarily pinning you, but...
Oh, no. I'm going to pull away from it. I mean, you can keep the sword in me all you want. I'm not going to stay on the wall, is what I'm saying.
Okay. I just wanted to check since it's dex. I'm a dex guy.
No, I understood. Definitely try and get every benefit you can.
13.
Yeah, it definitely floats down.
Must be advantage on that one, too.
It kind of knocks the shambles hand away with like the shudo, and then kind of reaches down, grabs your blade, and kind of pulls it off. And like as you're kind of leaning into it, kind of just drags it to the side, lets it impale the wall as it slides towards shambles. It goes for shambles. It will make 2 attacks. First attack. It's going to be a 18 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. So it'll do 5 damage. It's all bludgeoning, and it
Nice.
it grapples you, and then once it has you in its hand, it drags you towards it and snaps its teeth into your neck. So it will do a bite attack. 18 will hit. This one will do 10 piercing damage and 11 necrotic damage. And your maximum hit points are reduced by 11.
Okay, hang on. 11 necrotic.
Mm-hmm.
And then another 10 piercing.
Yeah. And then your maximum is reduced by the 11 necrotic.
Right.
Yeah. And what you watch, for you folks, this is probably the deepest you've seen Shambles get wounded. You see this thing kind of bite into his neck so deeply it kind of crushes like his, cloth neck. And you see it kind of pull back and away with like this greenish colored or reddish colored liquid, which has like a kind of glowing. You've seen the Predator. Imagine if the Predator's blood was red. That's what Shambles' blood looks like. That said, it's done. Raya, you are up.
He's not that tough. Take him out.
I'm just gonna try to stab him again then.
Okay.
Did real bad.
You kind of pull your blade away from the wall and kind of swing in, and he's already kind of got his cloak up, and he kind of just guides it back right into the wall, and the blade's kind of, you hear clink. Go ahead and change your Elvish Rapier to a fine Elvish Rapier.
Crap.
Alright, that's it for Raya, right?
Bonus action attempt to hide in the dark. Maybe he can't.
Won't work.
You know he can.
Alright.
Gotta do something.
Shambles.
Back to me already.
What?
That's Grok.
No,
Oh.
it's Grok.
How are you on there twice? That's weird. Okay, go ahead, Grok.
I was on there twice.
Yeah. As a free action, Grok would say to Benson and Raya, "Get behind," and then I would go "Rawr," and he would turn into a brown bear.
Brown bears are large.
I know. That's why I said "Get behind."
Oh no.
So,
Get behind.
unfortunately, because of the way you're doing it right now, they're not going to be able to go behind you. You'll turn large.
Well, can I go like this and then do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
So that will do this.
So
Hold
I
on.
say the same thing.
That will do this. And you should be able to pull your brown bear token and drop it.
So I wish I could. It doesn't. But I can't. I think it's a Mac. Or I need to figure out the.
No, you did drop it. You just didn't drop it where you thought it would be.
Ooh, lovely.
Alright.
Oh, so I did do it.
Yeah. It just dropped it in the hallway, and since you're not drawing sight from them for some reason. Oh, right, because they can't see in the dark.
Got it. So he is also raging. I'm also raging.
Okay.
So we're gonna go for a bite.
So you bonus action rage, then stepped in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
16.
Hits.
Whoops, sorry. So 10 piercing on the first,
Okay.
and then 15 with claws.
Hit. Well, no. You said you were raging.
15?
You have to say you're attacking recklessly, and you can't attack recklessly. You don't have advantage.
Wait. Oh, I don't have advantage. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I miss with the claws.
Yeah, reckless attack is a second level barbarian feature.
You
Got
can
it.
go ahead and change the your claws to fine
He did fumble with the claws.
as you chip
Fumble
in
with the
there.
claws.
It's not how that works, but yeah. Unarmed attacks can't
Exactly
get
how it
worse.
works.
And I just,
You
just
broke a nail.
growl. I growl. I'm just making myself.
Actually, I will, because there is a penalty to using weapons and not one to using unarmed weapons, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Roll a 20-sided dice for me, Andy.
Sure. Rolled a 3.
Okay, so you're going to take 4 points of bludgeoning damage. As your claws kind of smack down towards it, it dodges aside, and you scrape the back wall, and you feel it kind of just... It hurts you. You
Actually,
kind of tore into your own self.
I gotta figure this out. Oh yeah, cool.
And moving forward, if you unarmed attack and miss something with like a kick or a punch, you're basically going to be hitting something like, harder than you anticipated, but a miss, and breaking your own self.
Cool.
That'll offset the people who are using unarmed versus people who are using weapons and breaking them.
Yeah, that unarmed thing is way worse than us breaking our weapons. We can just go get new ones.
Well, especially for someone like Shambles who makes multiple attacks.
It's not going to be auto damage. It's going to be a fumble saving throw. So if you get under 10, then you'll take damage. If you don't, then you won't.
Oh, you chipped a dagger. Go buy a new one. Oh, you shattered your arm.
Anyway,
Whoops.
Croc done. Chody up.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to look beside him and cast Chill Touch.
Okay.
19.
Hits.
10 damage.
All right. He doesn't seem to take much damage from that.
I figured when I did it, but okay. Thought I'd try.
All right. Shambles.
I'm currently grappled.
Yes. It's an action to break, and the DC is a number. Or you
Do I have?
You don't
Do I
have
have to break it?
Wail on.
Yeah, screw this guy. Fighting me. Teach him a lesson.
Fight him back.
I might. I'm gonna stab. 24.
That'll hit.
5 piercing.
All right. Still floating.
And I'm gonna bring a knee up into his chest.
Okay.
12.
That misses. You kind of stab into him, and then you kind of try to spin with his arm and try and get your knee up, and he kind of twists the way he's holding you, so your knee kind
Use
of
your inspiration.
doesn't go. Not using your inspiration, right?
No,
Okay.
no, not for this.
You've gotten it like
Joker.
45 times in the last week.
He pulls you in as you kind of like try to twist up and knee him, and slams his teeth back into your neck. 22 will hit. He does 10 piercing damage, and only 3 necrotic damage. You'll take 3 more off the top.
Okay.
And then with his second action, he is going to change his attention to Grok, kind of looking at him. Grok, I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
So he chose not to grapple me that time?
No, he's still holding you. He hasn't released you.
Oh, I thought he grappled with the bite.
No. He grapples with the hand and then he bites you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're an alpha.
John,
today.
do I have intelligence
Use
from the bear or from
use your character sheet, your Grok character sheet for
Okay.
mental saving throws.
12?
Failure.
Vincent, I don't think we want to be here anymore.
You take 28 points of psychic damage.
Hey, you definitely wouldn't want something come from behind us, so let's go mess with it. It's cool.
And
Okay.
You also feel like a penetration into your own psyche, and you feel like this creature is basically kind of tearing away at your mental aspect. It seems like it's learning things about you as it's doing this.
Grok's an open book.
Well, you definitely are to this creature. All right, Raya, you're up.
I'll pull a dagger and fire off the cantrip and ghost knife this dude.
Okay, Chuck. Hits.
16 to hit for
You-
9 psychic.
You watch the psychic knife kind of hit him, and then it kind of just like fizzles. It seems like psychic damage is not very effective at all.
Well, that sucks. He's still slower by 10 feet. Right?
Correct.
Maybe.
He's going nowhere.
He's kind of in a corner. Grok.
Kinda.
Got his
Figure-
mouth full.
Put him down, Grok.
Grok, you're up.
Oh, okay, yeah. Grok is gonna go ham. So, did that psychic damage get halved because of no?
Rage only affects melee damage for you. So, bludgeoning,
Okay.
slashing, piercing.
Does that 14?
14 will hit.
So 9 slashing.
He was very, very wounded. Actually, hold on. Yeah, he still looks very, very wounded.
And you said you are not going bear totem?
He's not going more barbarian, I don't think. Chody, you're...
No, I might. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm going to go ahead and pull out the crossbow since the other stuff didn't work, and let's shoot a light crossbow at him.
Okay.
Good hit. Good hit.
18.
That'll hit.
6.
Okay. Alright. Shambles.
Let's keep stabbing. It seems to be working. Broken sword is a 20 for 6 piercing.
Hold on a second. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that works. Alright.
And I'm gonna punch him in the neck.
The disadvantage is only if you attack outside the grapple, right?
No, the grapple doesn't do anything besides your movement
Slow
0.
movement.
No, I thought you had disadvantage. when you
Restraint.
attack
Neck
people with
punch,
the pistol
crit.
holding you.
Nice.
Right.
Critical neck punch.
Sorry, restrained is what that does. Okay, that'll work.
Yes.
Okay.
12 damage, bludgeoning.
You kind of stab him in the stomach again, and he kind of leans in, like growling, kind of looking over his shoulder at the bear. As you kind of snap or kind of pull the blade and kind of pull a bit of meat away, you bring your arm up and kind of hit him in the side of the head. You realize at that moment that the thing that was holding you up is no longer holding you up because it just kind of goes limp in the air. The two of you fall together in kind of this weird, kind of sickly embrace, and you hear a sound as your sword is basically forced through him and your hand into his chest. As he hits the ground like that, though, there's kind of this sickening thud and then this loud sound that kind of detonates in the room. Everybody make an intelligence saving throw.
I already
boy.
failed.
It's been nice knowing you all.
25.
Ooh, 21.
14.
What?
Okay.
I'd unravel every riddle.
So
Nice.
if you beat a DC of 14,
Just missed it.
you're taking 8 points of psychic damage.
That's not so bad.
And if you failed it, you're taking 16.
What a dick, this guy.
And the next thing that happens, and this is something I need you to roleplay, that whole fight we just had, you forget about it.
Whoa.
There's a dead body laying on the ground. Imagine you just walked into try to roleplay you having just walked into the room with the pain that you have and the confusion that you have, and there's a dead body laying in the corner with a cloak.
What's that?
Raya, something happened. It was on the wall.
You told us to come here.
Yeah. Do we remember him being on the wall?
Yeah, so you remember everything up until the point where his eyes
Of the
turned
fight.
blue. The second his
Yeah.
eyes turn blue is literally the trigger point. Everything that happened after that is literally
Yeah.
like...
So
I'm super paranoid. I'm going to strip that cloak off of him and cut that body into bits.
Okay.
Why am I so angry?
I don't
Why am I
feel so good.
angry?
You calm down.
Mr. Benson.
What was I mad about?
Right.
But
And I
yeah,
don't know why, but I feel like that box is now fair game.
the cloak...
Brock, did you just kick my ass?
The
I
cloak...
don't know. I think so. I'm really pissed off.
You son of a bitch.
Are you two okay?
The cloak feels extremely nice. It is very well crafted.
On par with my normal garb.
Do you throw it on, or are you just pulling it aside?
After I chop the guy up, I'll give it the once over, and if I feel like it's really, my style, I'd probably put it
It's
on.
kind of like a deep gray color. You can see that there's some kind of like dwarvish kind of art deco. No, yeah, art deco's art deco kind of patternings along the corners and edges, but nothing too gaudy. It definitely has a nice look to it.
Sounds like my style. I'll swap it out. And I feel like the box is fair game. I don't know what just happened here, but I feel like we earned that one.
I feel like
Yeah.
I just fell downstairs for 2 miles.
You remember when you first came in, Benson, that the chest was locked, but for some reason it's slightly agape. Like the chest is slightly open now.
I'll slowly pull it open and see what's inside.
Okay. You and Raya, kind of looking into the chest, would see that kind of set out on a cushion, set in the bottom of it, is a knife. It looks like a very strange knife. It looks like it's got a cutting edge and a point, and it also has a grip that has kind of oh my god, why can't my brain work like a
Brass knuckles.
brass knuckles? It's a combat knife.
Trench knife.
Yeah, trench knife. Effectively, it does have like the little point in the bottom as well. It looks like it's of the Atavian style, but kind of with a dwarvish kind of notation of its construction.
Oh, this would possibly be very nice for you, my friend. I look at Shambles and say, since you like to punch and kick things, maybe this will give it a little more umph in the pump.
Right. I'm on the ground.
Oh, I before anything, I would help him.
There's
I
a
would
corpse
go help
on
him.
me.
Why is Shambles inside of a guy?
Sorry, Shambles. You landed on top of him. You kind of your weight kind of pushed the blade.
I landed inside of him. That's what you said.
Yeah, your hand is kind of immediately.
I'm
plunged.
elbow deep in this dude.
But you don't know why.
1, gross. 2, I would have pulled you free because I said I was dissecting that.
Right, yeah.
Oh, that's what you
So-
did say. I'm sorry.
I would not have looked in the box. I was busy.
So what did you want to come here for? I'll take the knife.
Okay. How long?
I'm still feeling a little paranoid, so we're gonna sit down here for a few minutes. Benson, I really want you to focus and figure out what just happened, and I'm gonna keep watch on the hallway.
Okay. For your purposes, there, it's a combat knife from Dirks and Daggers, that new book I made. It's a dagger that does.
Right.
It's a dagger that does bludgeoning, piercing, or
We
slashing.
got 2 authors in here.
Don't tell him unless he buys it, man. He
Bludgeon-
doesn't get to know what it does unless he buys.
Bludgeoning, no, because I gave it to him, so he gets to know what it is. Bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage, your choice upon the attack. And it also has the keen property, which states that it crits on 1 higher. So if you roll a 19 or 20 with it, it crits. Let me double check that one. I think it's just. Let me check. Sorry, hold on. I thought I had it in a card, but I did not.
What's the name of it?
Combat knife.
But it's dagger damage with
D4.
option of the
Slashing, piercing, or bludgeoning.
Does that work with monks?
Yeah, it's a.
It wouldn't be an unarmed strike though. Well, it would be the same.
Yeah, it's a monk weapon.
I thought they lost some of their ability if they actually picked. Oh, it is a monk weapon. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, no, he's not proficient with it. You're right. Let me explain why. It is a dagger, but it is a martial weapon, and it does not have the monk special property. Combat knives are brutal and finesse, light, and rogue. So even though they are a martial weapon, rogues are proficient with them. They are a different type of dagger. Brutal.
Offer it to Raya, 'cause it's not my style.
Brutal states when you hit with an attack made with advantage using a weapon with this property, you roll a second weapon damage dice and use the higher of the 2 rolls. So you can roll 2d4 and you choose which one you want.
Yeah, if you're not going to use it, I'll take it. That could be the one I flip across the room with my ghosty abilities.
Yeah.
Nice.
It does not have
4 potential dice.
It does not have the throne property, so you cannot.
No, but it's got the dagger sword, so I can cast the spell from it, right?
Yeah, but you won't be able to.
No, not literally throw it, but I can.
Mind throw.
Shambles, are you hurt?
You
I've
sure
had
look-
worse days.
What happened to your neck?
So I assume about a minute.
I don't know. This thing's teeth are all covered in hay dust.
About
Do you
a,
need some healing?
about a minute has passed as you guys have been talking, discussing, passing knives back and forth, and talking. Raya, Benson, and Grok. Everything that just happened a minute ago all flashes back suddenly. The memory of what just happened snaps to you. Shambles, you will never remember this in your own memory.
Oh, great.
I
My tattered memory of everything in my life now has more holes in it.
I don't know my past. Is life even a real thing?
when
I
I
have a
get
scarecrow.
that when I get that click, I'll kind of get this blank look on my face and start talking, like basically telling Raya what happened. Even though he knows what happened now, I'm going to tell him like he wouldn't know what happened.
And then Shambles went in and he punched him in the neck. And then
Yeah. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah. Oh, no, I remember now. You just got bit by a vampire. Somebody.
I'm
you think-
gonna.
do you think I'll take the change?
I've heard stories, but
collect myself.
will it work on him? Benson, is he going to be okay?
Benson, you can make a religion check to determine how vampirism works.
13.
I'm gonna hang myself on the wall.
You don't think
Awesome.
he will become a vampire unless he dies. Like he would have to have died because of that.
Well, we killed the host, so we should be good. And he's still alive, so he should be good. I think we're good.
What else do we know about vampires? The stories all said to stake him. Is that a thing? Do we have to stake this guy?
Couldn't hurt.
Do you have any steaks?
Looks at the bear.
Why would he look at the
Rare
bear?
meat.
Bear steak.
Oh, there's no bear. The bear got shot down to
Bear's
a rock.
gone.
I'm
Turtle
going to
steak.
take one of my crossbow bolts,
Well,
break it, the tip off it.
I was gonna say, Raya has a Monster Hunter's kit. You should have stakes in your kit there.
Holding out on us, right?
I don't think I do have a Monster Hunter kit.
I believe you do.
I do have a Monster Hunter pack.
And it should
Oh.
have.
Do I know about these monsters then?
Yeah, 3 wooden stakes. You are, because you're an Osirian, you are familiar with the process. That the statement that you said, "Shouldn't we shove a stake in its heart?" That would be more of a, "I'm going to shove a stake in its heart," because you would know that vampires and some undead are killed in that fashion.
So wait,
Okay.
this was a vampire?
If you think so, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna
I'm
do
willing
that.
to believe it.
I'm just gonna hammer one of those bad boys into him then.
Yeah, doesn't take much effort. It lays there, takes it.
Would I know anything about, or would I or anybody present know how to get myself back to my max potential as far as the hit points go?
Um,
Talk to Jimmy when we get back to town.
Yeah, Jimmy the Cleric's gonna have a
I got knows the
long
thing or two.
day ahead of him.
Okay. Do you want to move into the next room, or?
I don't know. I'm still a little nervous about this thing because it was unsatisfying the way it took the stake.
Yeah,
And I'm leery.
it appears to have a stake in its heart now. Yeah. It doesn't.
And Grok, if you're willing, I will take a little bit of healing.
Yeah, for sure.
I will say, I guess, apologies. There is one thing that would happen when you do pierce its heart. You do notice a bit of the bright red, kind of like fluorescent red colored liquid that Raya, no, I'm sorry, that
Shambles.
Shambles, wrong Wilbur, shot out when he got bit, kind of leak out of the heart.
You want this
Can
back?
can I get that back? Kind of like put it into my teeth wound.
Yeah.
So you see a spectral turtle, and you can just spend some time running back and forth through it.
Good answer.
You should all be able to get to full hit points with 10d6 worth of.
Especially with how it's going now.
Although, you have to end your turn in it, right? Or
Every 6 seconds.
first time on a turn, or starts its turn there. So yeah, you could just run circles through it. Everybody just run in a circle, and get 10d6.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
I lost 14 of my max hit points. Have any idea what those meant to me?
Very little.
They meant a lot. They meant I don't die like you mortals.
Oh, my mistake.
Like you mortals.
I mean, my pals.
Ouch. Ouch.
All right. Are we moving into the next chamber after the healing, or?
Yeah, let's keep going.
What were we looking for back here, right?
I don't know. Oh, we came here to clear it out. I want to bind this thing and drag it toward the door where we first came in before coming back.
Okay.
Or I'll take it over and tie it to the portcullis.
Sure.
I want to drag it out to daylight when we leave here.
Okay. You move through the passageway. Like I said, burbling of water. Looks like up ahead there's a wooden bridge kind of across a small water. So the water feature appears to be something that was built into it, not something that was added at a later point. It looks like this room has a very similar kind of structure to the first room you were in. Same kind of columns. And from what you can tell, it does appear that there is a little bit of golden light that you can't really see on the map, but I will kind of highlight it with a ping here. Kind of coming out of a bronze bowl.
So this setup's just a little bit different than the last one. It's got some more details to it.
Do you want to scout ahead?
There's water here.
Yeah, from what I can see so far, though, this one appears to be intact.
All right, what was that? Sorry.
How deep is the water here?
I'm gonna check the integrity of this bridge too.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty well structured. Yeah, the water doesn't look terribly deep either. Probably only about 3 or 4 feet deep. It does seem to be kind of inky, so you can't really see to the bottom of it. It kind of has like a green kind of coloration, but you're certain that you can't see the floor. And we're getting shower action.
I'm gonna go ahead and cross the bridge cautiously.
All right.
And thought about there's more water on this side. How does the room smell?
It definitely has kind of a it smells inky. It smells like ink. Very sepia kind of like ink. It smells like kind of painty, like paint.
Weird. Is the bridge creaking as they're walking across?
No, not really. It kind of has like a not like a loud creak or anything, just kind of a.
Is there any sign of where this water's coming from? Where it's going?
Not really.
Is it
no.
flowing at all?
It kind of has like a little bit of movement to it. It seems to be kind of moving inwards towards this central section. Looks like there might be some sort of avenue for it to come in from underneath the layer of ink that you're seeing.
This shrine appears to be intact, so maybe move a little more cautiously before approaching the center, Benson. I'm gonna move around the outside of it.
Okay.
I'll wait at the other end of the bridge.
Of course.
Sort of keep an eye on the water.
After Benson goes across, Grok would want to just jump the bridge. He doesn't want to walk on it.
Okay. You make a very loud sound slamming down onto the stone on the other side.
Grok.
What?
It literally causes everyone to. What the fuck?
Why?
It looks like there is a passageway that leads south, Raya. And then as you're kind of looking at it, you kind of move down like to the next column. You'll see that there's a waterway that continues on, but it doesn't look like that was originally there. Looks like the wall's been kind of broken out in portions. And then you can see that there's a small walkway like over here on this side that looks like it goes through the wall, and that one was normally there. Moving around some more, there are 2 small alcoves that appear to be doorways, rather, that appear to be on the upside. If you're looking,
And the water spot right above me, that appears like, is that the inlet for the water? Or are you saying that's a water path?
this appears to be an inlet for the water. This appears to be
I see the water path now. Yeah.
the water path. And looking through that hallway, if you do look through it, it would reveal kind of a broken column. You're not sure if it's the same style as the other columns because it's very different from what you can see.
Down the water path, you're saying? That's
Down
where
the
this
the
is?
little down the little path. If you look down the water path, yeah, you'll see more of the column. But it doesn't look like it is the same as the columns that you've seen so far. It looks like you're not sure. You definitely would need to see it from a different angle to be sure if it's the same kind of column. It looks like it's broken into sections. And there aren't enough sections for you to justify it being the same column because they're not high enough.
Okay, I'm gonna hug the wall for a minute because Benson's doing his thing.
All right, Benson, you move into the area, and set in this one is the same kind of vial set in its locking position. This one's filled with a golden liquid that's kind of glowing gold.
Can I remove it?
Yeah, you place your hand in, you pull it out, click, click, and remove it.
Can I put the other one in its place?
Yep,
I do so.
nothing happens.
Okay. I have 2 of them now.
So you return it, you pull it back to the blue one.
Yeah, I have both of them.
Okay. Do you put any of them away, or are you just walking around with 2 canisters in your hands, like 2 fists?
I I will put one of them away.
Which one do you keep out? The blue one served you so far pretty well, or do you want to keep the gold one out?
I'm gonna switch this time. I'll keep the gold one out.
Okay.
I think that's the fire one.
Like I said, there are two small passageways that lead around into small little alcoves there, Raya. Um, on the right, the eastern wall.
Yep.
If you go into
That
this one and kind of enter in and around,
Yep. I see a dead end and another cut back.
yeah, that cutback will lead into a 15 by 10 room, which is completely empty, devoid of anything. It looks like this room was originally purposed probably as a room where someone might have slept, but it doesn't look like there's any bed or anything to that effect. But it does look like there's places in the ground, like kind of grooves in the stone, where a bed might have sat.
I'm gonna inspect the room just in case. Go
Okay.
over all the walls and tiles.
No need for any rolls. It's completely, as I said, barren.
You guys all followed me in here. It's pretty cool of you.
You turn around and walk back and bump into everyone.
There's a scarecrow with a glowing hat.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Can we go back? Let's check that other little alcove right just north of here. I'm just gonna run by you.
Oh, and sorry, Chody. The gold one, the light is a lot brighter than the blue one. It's as bright as your spell light.
Hit me with that better light, bro.
Doing so.
Oh, okay, it's better. When I was in the hallway.
Oh, that's nice. Now,
Yeah, look at that.
All right, Ryan. When you come around this one,
I'm
moving.
pausing here because it's very different. Everything's darker in this hallway. I don't know.
Yeah, it does appear to be quite a bit darker here. It looks like there's kind of like an inky kind of matter on the ground. When you first kind of look down at it and kind of inspect it, it doesn't look like it's slicking, like it's dry, or it doesn't look like it's wet. It looks like it's dried. Looks like a bit of the kind of inky color from outside must have got in to the floor of this chamber and stained it.
I'll poke at the floor with my rapier as I move forward slowly.
Nothing crazier and activates it. When you come around into this room, you'll see that it's similar to the room that you were in before down the southern side, except that on the wall there is a large metal semicircle that kind of juts out, and there's a massive lever that seems to be attached to it that goes from left to right. It's currently in the left position.
What does it look like? I mean, just a plain old lever just hanging on this wall?
It's not really hanging on the wall. It's kind of like set in the wall. It's like right at about chest level, so you could reach over, grab it, and pull it open, or pull it to the other position.
Okay. Who is the least perceptive of us?
16 passive perception.
Are you asking for the actual numbers? 15.
I don't really care about. You guys could have described it. Jody, how's your perception?
Perception is 0. I have a 10.
Okay, I'm gonna leave you here with your little glowy bottle. We're all gonna go spread out in the other chamber and be completely silent, and we're gonna listen while you flip this lever.
Okay.
All
I
right.
don't like leaving him here alone.
Well, it's gonna do something mechanical somewhere, and this room is safe. I've inspected it. There's nothing other than this lever in here. I mean, this could be what opens the portcullis back in the hallway.
Okay.
But we need to go listen for the clicks.
Benson, Raya, and Grok, Shambles, Raya, and Grok, as you go out into the main chamber, it sounds like you can hear things coming out of the water. It definitely sounds like something's moving around outside. Do you stop and go backwards, or do you go out into the darkness with your current set of lights to go out and check it?
If we hear stuff in the water, we will pause. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Does Grok, you do not have a light.
Correct.
Would you like one of these bottles for a light?
Okay.
Do you have a
I'm
gold
going to
one?
hand him. No, I'm going to keep the gold one. He can have the other one.
Okay.
I'm going to stash my hat in my jacket again. Hope not to draw the attention of whatever's coming this way.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't sound like anything's coming your way, but now...
Or whatever's emerging from the water.
Sure. As you're kind of listening to the outside and you aren't able to see too much because of the darkness, you hear... It sounds like things are walking around with kind of like a... Doesn't sound like there's any breathing or like sounds of like living. It just sounds like things are kind of walking around outside.
Sounds like squishy footfalls in the main chamber.
Yeah.
Soft shoes.
I'm gonna go on full stealth mode and inspect with my dark vision. What do I see?
Okay. Go ahead and show me how you're moving.
Give me a second. Benson, go into the lever room. Because that was the initial plan. And I'm going to get to about 10 feet shy of the door of this corridor we were originally in.
Okay.
And just look around and listen.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception check as you're looking with your night or your dark vision.
Am I 10 feet from the edge or 5?
That's
This is fine. Perception?
Mhm.
15.
Yeah, you see something that very, very quickly disturbs you. You see that there's water and ink kind of moving on its own accord and kind of splashing down on the stone. As you kind of focus in on it, you realize that it seems to be connected to nothing, and then it stops. The liquid just kind of...
And falls into a puddle on the floor.
Yeah. But it looked like it was attached to something at first. Like there was like it was connected to a foot that wasn't there, and then it just...
I don't know what that means. I'm going to stealthily move backward and explain what happened to everybody else quietly.
You stealthily moved up as well, so give me a stealth check just for both transactions.
Real bad.
Okay. As you turn to move back, you feel a sudden grasp and something...
I wouldn't have turned, so that's probably why.
Okay. Well then, as you're kind of backing away, you feel something grasp your shoulder, but you don't see anything in front of you. You kind of think it's behind you, and you look behind you, and there's nothing there. And then you feel yourself pulled forward. Well, actually, acrobatics check to see if you can avoid the grapple. You have disadvantage because you're trying to maneuver out of a grapple of something you can't see.
14.
14 is still good enough. You manage to weasel your body out of the way, and you feel like a hand kind of close down near you, but you don't see anything. And then you kind of snap back into the hallway, right?
I know I fucked up on that 10. I kicked a rock or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
I would announce something is trying to grab me.
But you back into the room with Benson, right?
Well, with a failure and feeling something grabbing at me, I'm going to hold my position because I already have my rapier out. I was poking the floor with it.
Okay.
And I'm going to take a stance looking back out toward the main chamber.
You don't see anything. And if
Right.
you're staying where you're staying, then I'm going to continue to try and take you with me.
I didn't want to get the
Which
attack
way?
opportunity for walking away from something that was here with me.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead and make another acrobatics or athletics check, your choice.
Guys,
Which way is he?
somewhere beside me, 27.
Whatever it is that's grabbing at you, you're starting to get an idea of its patterning. You can feel it kind of grabbing at your shoulders and kind of grabbing towards your neck, and you're kind of able to move away from it. Whatever it is, its fingers have to be massive because you can feel them stretching down your...
Around me.
Like around you, whatever it is, and you kind of pull away and staying in that position, or you can bonus action disengage. I mean, just a note: you're the rogue. If you want to get away from them, you can.
Yeah.
Everybody else, if you want to stay where you're at, you can do that, or you can come around. Is anybody?
Well, I don't know. I'm
Well, if
having
he's
trouble
calling
with
for us, I'll
which
move
direction.
Can
forward.
I hold on? Can I attempt to cut this thing and then disengage?
Yeah, you can.
Can I just swing wildly at what's in front of me?
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll.
10.
Okay. You watch as your sword kind of rushes out into the darkness, and then the blade disappears, and then you feel a force kind of pulling at it. Go ahead and make a athletics check. You can't acrobatics this one. You manage to
16.
wrench your blade away, and so you see the blade disappear into darkness, and then you pull your blade away, and it like appears again. It doesn't appear like there's anything physically there. You seem to be fighting nothing, and whatever it was just tried to grab your rapier away.
Then I'll use my disengage and fall back to everybody else.
Okay. The second you snap around the corner, you don't hear any like chasing or anything to that effect. But everybody back in this room, what do you do?
I'd head
What
towards
the
the
hell?
noise.
I'm I'm not gonna let you walk past me. There's something massive out there trying to grab me. It almost took my sword away. So we need big, powerful, probably Benson spells to clear the room.
Is it straight on? Is it like a straight hallway?
So if you move into Shambles Square, then move down and around, Raya's going to try and stop you and hold you back. He's not wanting you to pass. And he's saying that everybody should move as a unit to go fight it so Benson can clear it with magic, right?
I have Thunder Wave I can throw if it's. I'm trying to understand
First
the
level
organization
spell.
of the hallway.
If you think that can push it back, step in front of me and cast it. But yeah, it was, the size of this hallway trying to take me.
Since we have a breather for a second, maybe we should wait and strategize on our next move with AKA at 7 o'clock. I hate to be that guy.
Well, here,
Yeah.
let me simplify this for you, because I was trying to get it, but you wouldn't do it, and it's really making me sad. As a unit, you move out together. Benson's holding
Yes.
the golden light
The
over his
gold
head.
light, they stay away
As you
from the
come
gold light.
around
Got
the
it.
corner there, you see a completely black silhouette that is illuminated by the light, inky black and dripping, disgusting, fetid, with massive claws, and inside of this blackish liquid that seems to take that humanoid silhouette, you can see at points where the drip kind of dissipates, you can see underneath what looks to be a small corpse that sits inside of this massive body. As the light touches it, its face turns towards you. No eyes, no nose, no ears, no features. Completely just solid black ink, but massive white silverish teeth. Cry out in agony, and then it just backs into the shadows, and you hear a splash.
I look at Ryan and say, "Why was that such a problem? I don't understand why that's."
I think your flashlight might have had something to do with it, buddy.
Or maybe it was my magic powers that was so intimidating to everyone else. I
All
have
right.
power.
I'll
He's
go
known
ahead.
known far
zombie
and
mech.
wide.
I'm gonna go
It was
ahead.
a zombie mech.
arcane dog.
I'm gonna end the session here. And thanks for watching. We'll pick up next week. And yeah, good times. Let me go ahead and kill the stream.